Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today, I've borrowed this 2021 Mercedes-Benz AMG GLE 53 Coupe from my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport. I wonder if it would be a viral video if I said that 5 times fast and didn't stutter one time. Well, I don't know if I'm going to try that or not. The exterior color on this model is polar white. And as we open the door to look at the interior, it is going to be black Napa leather, and as you can see, that is very nice leather there, very comfortable. The seats are nicely bolstered, as you can see, and of course the AMG logo right here. These are also heated and cooled seats. And as I work my way around to open the hood and tell you what's going on there, of course you'll see the turbo and 4MATIC logo right here on the body. 3-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder, and 4MATIC, of course, meaning this is an all-wheel drive model. And if you look at the rims, look at the size of those brake rotors right there. There are some pizzas that you could order that are not that big. Those brake rotors are meant to provide some serious stopping power. This is a high-performance vehicle, and you really could take full advantage of the performance capabilities of this model if you wanted to. And the wheels with a matte black finish, those are 22-inch wheels, the AMG style wheels. Of course, you're going to have the whole package of AMG here. That's why the AMG logo is featured there on the wheel itself. And as we walk around to take a look here at the front end, of course, more racy look. Definitely classic AMG, the Americana or Pan Americana grille, I should say. The iconic grille that is exclusively for these AMG models. And when you see that, what you know is that this is a high-performance vehicle. And we'll open the hood and take a look at what is underneath. This is the 3-liter 6-cylinder turbocharged engine, and I do like to push the hood all the way up into its widest opening position. Just gives everything a better gives us a better opportunity to basically take a look at the engine. Although, as I have said before, I would love to be able to remove this cover and get a better look at the engine itself, the turbocharger, and all that kind of stuff. Again, the AMG logo right there. And of course, this is a very potent combination under the hood here. It's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission, and what that's going to be putting to the ground through the 4MATIC system, all-wheel drive, is going to be the 429 horsepower. And I've put all the numbers on the screen for you so you can basically see what this vehicle is capable of as far as horsepower, torque, and even the gas mileage, which is not too terribly bad. And of course, here is the remote, and I show you that because I'm going to hit the lock button. The power folding side view mirrors with built-in turn signal indicator are going to automatically fold in and of course unfold when you unlock the vehicle. And just looking at the overall lines of this model, everything screams performance. That's what it's all about. The lines, just everything here. Of course, you can see one of the sensors here on the front fender, and there are sensors all around. You've got all the latest technology here. I'll list all of the safety features so you know what is there, and you can probably even see from right here, you have a panoramic sunroof, and we'll get a closer look at that from the interior in just a little while, but I'll give you a little bit of a look right here just for the moment as we work our way around. Of course, you do have the AMG door sills, and that is a lighted door sill, even though you might not be able to see that right now with it being as light as it is out here. And working our way around to the back end, of course, you do have the AMG performance exhaust, and of course the AMG and GLE 53 logos there. And there are multiple ways of opening the rear liftgate here, including a button on the driver's side door, the remote, where you can walk right up to the logo here and just do that. I also have a towing hitch right there if you want to use that to tow something. I'll put all the cargo specs and information here on the screen for you. And you have a cargo cover here, but it's actually just a folding cargo cover, so you don't actually pull that back. You're just going to fold that up and or out of the place, and that is removable if that's something you want to take advantage of. And this little switch right here, that's going to allow you to raise and or lower the vehicle. And I know you probably can't tell right now as I'm lowering the vehicle that it's actually going down. The air is being let out of the air suspension, but we'll step back and take a quick look here. You can tell the stance has changed. It's definitely lower to the ground, and there's a way to do that from the interior as well, and I'll show you how to do that in just a little while. And for those of you who aren't fans of the spare tire repair kits in some vehicles these days, good news. There is your spare tire. That's what's under the floor right here. And if you want to maximize your cargo space, here's how you're gonna do it. On both sides here, you've got the 60-40 split rear seats. Right up here, you've got a latch you can pull on the seat, and that seat is going to automatically fold down. Both sides, of course, do, and you can maximize your cargo space that way. You also have another release here on the center seat. That way, you can use that as a pass-through if you so desire. And of course, you do have multiple options, everything I mentioned earlier, for closing this rear lift gate. In addition to your two buttons right here, you can either just lower it down and close it, or you can lower it down and lock the interior doors at the same time. And of course, as we hop inside, you've got, these would normally be map pockets, so I guess you might call these map nets, maybe, I don't know, but a little storage on the back of the seats there, guys. Couple of USB ports here, and you also have some space here for storing. You can put a cell phone in there and plug that in if you want to, of course. Dual air conditioning vents, and a good view of the panoramic sunroof. And I like the fact that this sunroof doesn't have any kind of a separation in it. It's just one solid piece of glass, and so that makes it, at least in my opinion, a little bit better, a little bit nicer. And of course, here is the front seat. Basically a mirror image of the door, just with a few more buttons and switches and all. Heated and cooled seats. You've got seat memory for the driver and passenger sides. As you can see on this door, you've got 3 settings here, and of course the same thing on the other side. And your heated and cooled seat buttons right here. Of course, here's everything for adjusting the seat. And of course, the driver's side door, basically a mirror image with a couple of exceptions to what we looked at on the passenger side. And you have what's called emotional start. Let me show you what that is. Hopefully you can hear this really well. Let me do this first. Let me just do a regular start. I'm going to push the start button. You can't really hear the vehicle starting. But if you want emotional start, pull back on the left shifter paddle, and then you're going to start the engine. Probably not enough heat to really help you to hear that as well. But ultimately, what that does for you is give you some exhaust crackles, kind of the ultimate cold start, if you will. Okay, guys, and hopefully you can see you have interior lighting throughout. There's quite a bit here, and unfortunately, with it being as light as it is outside, I can't necessarily show you all of that, but you do have, this is the MBUX system, so it is a touch screen, and you can go into vehicle, light, and then ambient lighting, and you have 64 different colors you can choose from here, and a couple of different options. You have multi-colors, and then you can go to multicolor right there, or you can choose from some of the other options that were there, or you can choose right here one of your 64 available colors. And of course, you do have the two 12.5-inch touch or screens here. This one's the touch screen, this of course being the dashboard or driver's instrument cluster. And of course, here is the AMG Performance Steering Wheel, the AMG logo, your steering wheel mounted controls, and multiple ways to control the center screen. You can either use the trackpad right here, you can use the what I call mini trackpad on the steering wheel here. You can hit home or you can hit back, and basically it allows you to scroll your way through, make a selection if you want to, and we're going to get back to that screen in just a little while, but I wanted to show you the dashboard here, or the instrument cluster, just to show you a couple of things going on here if you wanted to make some changes. Of course, you've got performance, trip, radio, media, you've got design and display, and of course service there. But let's check out design and display. You have multiple looks here. You've got classic, and you can go in and make changes to all of that depending on what you want it to look like. I really tend to like the sport look a little bit better personally. Tell me which one you like, guys. Tell me in the comments. I'm gonna go with sport just because I like that a little bit more personally. And of course, As you scroll over, notice I scrolled over to the tachometer. It's going to tell you a few things about what's going on with the vehicle, give you a few different views, give you some good information, even navigation right there, as you can see. Quite a few options right there. I'm not going to go through everything, but then again, you can also do the same thing over here and get more information on the left-hand side where the speedometer would normally be. So a lot of good information there. I really like that. I just like the customizability here of what you've got. Of course, you've also got your button here for starting the engine, the auto stop start button right there. I like to turn that off just so that when I come to a complete stop, the vehicle doesn't shut down. Everyone has their preferences on that, I know. And of course, let me pull my cell phone out here real quick, just get it out of its holder here. Here's your wireless charging pad. I'm gonna put that in there so that it will start charging. You can see that, there we go. Of course, you've got USB ports, all that good stuff. You can hide that away too if you want to. You've got a cover right here to hide that away if you would like. Your drink holders, and of course, right here, this toggle right here is going to allow you to choose your driving mode. And here are the driving modes you have. Let's just take a look at everything. Sand, trail, slippery, individual, comfort, sport, and sport plus. And of course, I know I went through that really fast, but as you can see, the screen also changes as you make your selections. Your dual zone climate control here in the front. And of course, you have the trackpad there that's very simple, very easy to use. Right here, this button right here, that's park assist if you wish to use that. And if you push these buttons right here, here's a few things to note. But you can see that there is your heads up display, and you can turn that on or off if you want to simply by pushing the screen right there. It's off. We're going to turn that back on. And here's something that's very interesting. You have car wash mode, automatic car wash mode, and that's going to do a few different things. It's going to fold your mirrors in and basically get the vehicle ready for running it through a wash. Personally, I would wash mine by hand, but everybody's a little bit different. Of course, you have assistance here. Let's take a look at what's there. We'll get that to come up. There we go. You've got your cameras and parking, your active brake assist, basically everything, attention assist, traffic light view. There we go with that. You can make that automatic, on demand, or off. There is so much here. I'm not going to cover everything, but here's what you can do, guys. You can basically just kind of hunt and peck your way around and find whatever you want. Just investigate the system, basically. Very, very nice. You can even adjust how the seat belts work. Very, very enjoyable to learn your way around, at least in my personal opinion. And of course, right here, this is how you can raise or lower the vehicle. That's the center one right here. You can change the height of the vehicle if you want to right there. Notice how it says rising on the dashboard. I'm pushing it up, and then we'll just do it one more time and lower the vehicle. It's going down to handling. And if you want to know what all of these do, of course I can tell you, but all you have to do is basically just toggle down on that. That's how you're going to change your modes. And of course, you can change the way the vehicle rides right here on the far right hand side. And then you can also change the exhaust. So basically what it boils down to is that you can be in sport, comfort, individual, any of those modes in a multitude of different places with the vehicle. When you're in sport mode, the exhaust doesn't necessarily have to be sport, although I would definitely want it to be personally. And of course, plenty of contrast stitching here throughout the interior. You've got the Bombay doors right here. See if I can move some of this out of here so you can see down in there a little bit better. Another USB port, and you've got plenty of space down there. I've got a few things stored inside. So why don't we take the GLE 53 Coupe out on the road? We'll see how it handles. Okay guys, I just wanted to show you something real quick as I back out of the driveway. Of course, you've got the rear view camera, but the good thing about it is that that's not all you have. When you go into drive, you're also going to still have the view from the front camera, so you can see what's going on around you. And it's not that necessary with where we are right now, but just so that you can see, that's what we have. Okay guys, we're gonna get out on our test drive here in the GLE Coupe. Obviously, if you watch me regularly, you know that I love these AMG models. And I really like the fact that with the heads-up display, You've got what I would refer to at least as a shift light down on the bottom right beneath the speedometer. And you might wonder, well, what's that for? Well, in the world of drag racing that I come from, you get a lot of vibration and shaking in the cars as you're going down the racetrack, so you might not always be able to see the tachometer that you would use to know when to shift. And so the shift light is there to tell you when to change gears. And essentially that's what it's doing here as well. It tells you, it gives you an up arrow, and it gives you the next gear. So if you're going to shift into fourth, you'll see the up arrow with a 4 next to it. I don't know if you saw that right there, but there's the 7, there's the 8. We'll see if we can get it to go to the 9. It'll probably come up in just a second here. But basically, it's, you know, some people might call that an idiot light, but you know what? If you're not used to that kind of thing, that's what it's for. It just makes it a little bit easier to shift as you're going down the road, especially in a situation where maybe you're tracking the car and pushing really hard. But ultimately, here's the thing that it all boils down to. You've got all the different driving modes. Every single one is very comfortable, even Sport Plus, because if you stiffen this suspension up, obviously that's going to change the characteristics of how the vehicle rides. It's also going to help it to handle a lot better. It's going to mean a stiffer suspension, but at the same time, it's still, with this air suspension here, it's very, very comfortable no matter what mode you're driving in. The steering wheel, of course, this leather-wrapped steering wheel, very comfortable as you would expect, and I just like the way it's built. It's made for you to be able to put your hands in just the right place, especially if you're tracking the vehicle. I'd be curious to know how many of you have ever tracked a GLE. Let me know in the comments. I'd be very curious to know. So I'm gonna cruise on down the road here just a little bit. Ultimately, the thing that I see here is this is a great daily driver. The handling is great. The steering works extremely well. It's super responsive no matter what mode you're in. And as you can see here, I'm kind of just cruising down the road here. You know, in fact, that Corvette we're driving by right there, one of the cool things about this, if you had a Corvette pull up next to you at a red light, you'd definitely be able to take them from a dead stop. Most Corvettes, at least. And you might say, how's that possible? Because you have all-wheel drive and they have rear-wheel drive. Now, eventually they'd probably come around you, even if you had a higher performance model with a V8. But just something that's kind of fun to do if you ever want to surprise somebody. It would probably get some attention for people who don't know what they're looking at. But just as a daily driver, this is a very nice vehicle. Plenty of storage space in the rear, lots of cargo space. You've got seating for 5. Very comfortable materials throughout as far as the Napa leather that covers the seats in the front and rear seat area of this vehicle. And it's just practical. That's all there is to it. It does get good gas mileage. You don't have to hot rod it around, so to speak. You can drive in comfort mode and just enjoy yourself. It's not a big deal. It's easy to see out of. Of course, you've got the luxuriousness of the panoramic sunroof that we looked at earlier. But ultimately, as I'm driving around here, if you do want to take this vehicle out on the track and have a little fun with the performance end of it, the AMG qualities and features, just a lot of fun, a very versatile vehicle. It's just nice to know that you can have a high performance vehicle, but yet it can be very versatile, and if you just drive it around just without putting your foot in it a lot, you're still going to get really good gas mileage. So tell me what you think, guys. Which Mercedes-Benz that I have not featured here on Vehicle Visionary would you like to see me feature? And tell me what your favorite model is. I'd like to thank my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport for loaning me this GLE Coupe for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch. I always appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a great day.